Sami Jo hanging out with you on Miami's #1 hit music station, Y100, and I'm so excited to introduce you to my two new co-hosts today.
Yo, what's up?
We have Carlos and James from Big Time Rush.
Hello, hello, hello.
What's going on?
So you guys are here in Miami. You just did the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
it was
just
amazing.
finished up a tour.
Yes, we've done a lot.
It's been a
You've done
busy
lo-
year.
You went on hiatus, and then in 1 year, you've done all the things.
Yeah, and you know what? Now we're here at Y100. That's Posey.
That's Posey.
Posey.
She's saying hi in the
Dog.
back of the room.
So, you know,
Live, laugh, love.
I grew up actually in Weston.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I listened to Y100 all my life, basically.
So this is your hometown station.
This is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you for having us.
Thank you
And
for
I
being
moved
here.
here 2 weeks ago, so it's now my new hometown
Now
station.
your new hometown. That's awesome. So how does it feel to be back doing what you love most? Touring, doing shows?
I mean, it's incredible. We always knew that we were going to get back together at some point.
Yeah.
It's kind of an unspoken thing at times, and we all went off and built our own careers from acting to music, and really we needed to do that for our own creativity and individuality. But I don't think we really ever thought that we would be able to come back like this, where truly it feels and it actually statistically, in a lot of ways is bigger than it was before. I mean, Paralyzed just came out, and it's our first #1 from iTunes charts to hit, #1 for the music video, hit #1 for pop, #1 across all music. Just one example of how incredible this has been, and we're just completely in awe and grateful and psyched because, again, we kind of knew we'd want to do this again, but never knew it'd be this big.
And to attest to that, we did this big campaign on TikTok for your show. We did a meet and greet. So to win the meet and greet, you had to do a duet with the TikTok that we created to your song Honey.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
we were like, okay, hopefully people, still have their love for Big Time Rush. Flooded thousands.
No way.
That's
Of your
awesome. Thank you
fans.
guys.
That's
whoever
awesome.
Did those
Thank you.
TikToks.
That wanted to duet, and they wanted to win and come meet you guys. So we were excited about that for you guys as well. We were like, yes, Big Time Rush is back and nobody forgot. But you guys already knew that. That's nothing new. And Miami played a pretty big role in all of that as well. You guys recorded your new music here and with Mafio too.
Yes.
Legend here in Miami.
Legend.
So how did that come about?
Well, I met Mafio maybe 10 years ago. So right after Big Time Rush took our hiatus, I started writing some Spanglish music. I met Mafio back when he had no hair. He was bald, or just
I don't even know what that
like
looks
a buzz
like.
cut. Yeah, it was crazy. And we spent 3 or 4 days and just writing hits after. We thought they were hits.
They are.
Maybe one day they'll come out. But
Manifest that.
Yeah, right. But then jump cut to 10 years later. We are getting the band back together, and I just really felt like we had to do something in the Spanglish world. And
Yeah.
he's
it.
like you said, he's it. He's like a legend. So I got the boys to fly down to Miami, which wasn't too hard, and we spent a week in the studio with Mafio.
Wow.
And it was crazy. I mean, like some 10-hour days, and we were just writing and writing and writing. And
Do those days go by fast though because you're enjoying that moment?
sometimes,
Yeah.
there was one day that we
You're
got
laughing.
through halfway through the day, and the song was terrible, and everybody just kept leaving the studio. And I remember just being like, what are we gonna do? And I think Kendall was like, let's just start fresh. And in my head, like, I don't write a lot, so for them being like the writers, I was like, you can do that? Like midway through the day, you can just start fresh. So we started fresh, and we wrote what was it called? The choir
The
one.
anthemic one. We've written so many songs. I'm blinking. Well, we probably shouldn't say it because then people are going to tweet like, "When's it coming out?"
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
We
one
wrote a
day.
good song.
Okay, you wrote a good
It was
song
great.
that may or may not come
And then
out.
we wanted a choir in it. So Mafio calls
Holler.
he calls his choir in like midnight. His choir of like 15 people come in, and then James is
Is it
like,
from his church?
I
Or
don't
you're
know.
just like,
I don't- I mean,
love that.
He knows everyone.
knows everybody.
He does,
He knows
that's
everyone.
true.
But they came in, and then James was conducting the choir till like 2 a.m, and it was like, what is happening right now?
It turned out to be one of the most amazing days, and so unconventional. And
Yeah.
like Carlos said, we had this whole thing going. Halfway through, decided to scrap it, but that's part of any creative process. It's really tough to create something and spend hours and hours, sometimes even days and weeks, and then go, you know what, it just isn't where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So you either start over or you just start something new. But that's part of the process. And then some days we got in, and I think Kasi Kasi was one of those songs that
It's
just
fast.
was fast, just had an initial through line, had a melody, had a concept, and it just kind of came together in a matter of hours. So it goes both ways.
So on those days where it feels like it's dragging, you're not getting something out, what do you look for inspiration?
Tacos.
Amen.
Tacos
and
Cafecitos?
margaritas.
Cafecito. Oh my
What's
gosh.
like your,
They
stop,
brought us
cafecito?
so many. Listen, shout out to 11. Oh man, what are they called?
Rebel 11.
Rebel 11 Studios.
The staff there, oh,
they
man,
would come in
Cafecitos.
every hour with cafecito, and it was like
Every
the
hour?
most caffeinated sessions.
fine, maybe every
I've
2
ever
hours.
had.
I don't know.
Regardless, how's your sugar
It
levels?
seemed like it seemed like it just kept coming. They would
Right.
bring little things. And,
Uh-huh.
Yep, we were pretty jacked.
And like blood sugar's like okay, like we're not
I don't
pre-diabetic
know.
right now.
Who knows?
I don't know.
No worries.
You
okay.
don't ask questions.
We
You
filmed the
just-
whole
you
thing.
just
So we'll have to
take-
go back and look.
Thank you. Nod your head yes, and proceed.
Gracias.
What's like your go-to spot then for tacos, margs, cafecito?
Oh, out here, I don't know. I mean, we just did Uber Eats or whatever it was, and
Okay.
Yeah, when you're in the studio, you barely ever have time to
but
roll
Doral
out.
You're
has
not
some
leaving.
really great spots.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, tell me. I'm
Booyah?
still new in the area,
Booyah.
so.
No, you guys know Booyah?
Booyah?
Oh my
She definitely.
goodness.
Thais definitely does.
Yo, right? Booyah?
There's
She's
some
out and
amazing-
about.
And I just got here to Miami, so I'm over.
So you're still learning too.
I'm still learning, but I got to say, like, I took my girlfriend out to a brunch at Mila. It's at a South Beach spot that I was
Nice.
blown away by. A little shout out to those guys. It was
You
some of the
can't
best.
really go wrong on South Beach.
There's so much good food.
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
then taco wise, I actually just heard that there's literally a place that started in La Jolla in San Diego, where I'm from, called the Taco Stand. I know, very creative name.
yeah.
And they just opened one up like right in Edgewater or Wynwood.
I was gonna say that sounds so familiar right
and
now.
you just don't get better tacos
awesome.
than San Diego tacos, in my opinion. Just saying, they're good.
Every Big Time Rush fan going over there flooding the streets
Yes,
right
right.
now. Too funny. So is that the direction we're going in with the new music, Spanglish, or are we just experimenting doing all the things?
That was just a little experiment that we did, and
Yeah.
I mean, we've written so many songs up in like me talking to you right now. There's probably like 20 or 30 songs that are just
And then
sitting
next
there.
week we're back in LA. I'm flying in. We got another 5 or 6 days in the books. So
And y'all
I
are
think
just sitting on it?
No, we're putting together an album.
Okay.
I don't think that's really much of a secret. There's no official date, or we don't even know which songs are landing yet. But we're
Yeah.
100% going to do a new album, which is going to be an English focus album.
or four albums.
I
I mean,
think
At this point,
there's so many
what you
songs.
have
Music.
written, it sounds like you could
But I
at
think,
least
we've been talking about
you
finishing
owe
up
us. I'm just kidding.
the Spanglish music and simultaneously doing a Spanglish EP.
Yep.
So that would
Okay.
be the goal. Again, nothing set in stone, but I even threw out Kasi Kasi because I really do want that one to come out. We
a good
have
one.
4 or 5 songs that are finished, that are ready to go in the Spanglish world that just complement Dale Paya, and I think would be really fun to put out soon.
Yeah, actually, so I'd like to say that we are one of probably the only band with this type of app, but Big Time Rush has an app, but it's
Nice.
legit. Like we built it from scratch. It's like the best way to like fully connect with us.
Cool.
And we have been releasing these episodes called the Miami tapes, and
I like
every
this.
single week. So there's a brand new episode, and we've been teasing a lot of these songs that we're talking about. So they're not out yet, but
So if you want the inside
if you want the inside
go
exclusive,
get the,
yeah, there are these like 14-minute episodes. They're
like a
long.
podcast.
No,
The
it's
video?
It's video.
Think
It's
like vlog
nice.
style, but
Yeah.
instead of doing YouTube or whatever, it's literally our own app. It's
On your app.
literally called Big Time Rush, and we go live on there all the time, and it's
the
pretty
most
cool.
That's
personal
awesome.
and behind-the-scenes content we've ever put out.
Yeah.
That I think our fans love watching. Sometimes I watch it. I'm like, yeah, I was pretty drunk in that episode. Probably shouldn't have said that. I swore a lot
I
that day.
want to talk
Great.
about that though too, because obviously lots of time has passed since the show and now. Does it feel almost like a relief of some sort to be able to now talk about drinking and sing about drinking and what is this, cardio in the morning, quote unquote, things
Yes,
like that in your
great.
music,
Running.
I do
running.
all sorts
Duh.
of cardio in the morning.
Yes,
Like
Is that home workouts?
I'm
these
married, ma'am.
days?
I'm just kidding.
Well, he's got 3 kids. You know
course.
he's done some cardio.
Yeah, I do a lot of cardio.
exactly, but I feel like it, like
not for the last 3 weeks, but it's fine.
you're still married.
He's flying home today.
I know. I'm excited.
We grew
Some
up
cardio tonight.
together. I feel in a way where like I feel like an adult now, and you guys are obviously adults too. So we're talking about adult things, and we
Yeah.
don't have to like shy away because we're on Nickelodeon anymore. No tea, no shade.
100%.
But like,
You're
yeah.
right. I think it's more about the age gap with our fans and us. When we're out in the audience, like this entire summer, we saw very few young kids. We still have young kid fans that are either just watching the show on Netflix or just getting into music, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like 10 years ago, if we had a fan that was, 12 or 13 or 14, that was kind of a big difference between us being 24 or
Right.
23, 22. But
You have to,
now
like, sort of-
that fan is, 22, 23, 24. And so us being 32, it's kind of much more similar, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like we're
It
at a much
does.
more similar place in our lives.
Yeah.
So I feel like we can really, truly relate more with our fans these days. And it does. It makes it more fun. And it makes it, I guess, less pressure to say something wrong because,
I
We're
don't
on the
know.
same level.
I feel the pressure because now I got my kids
Right.
who are 5 and 3 who love Big Time Rush.
Listen,
and
I
I'm
was
like,
going to ask you, do your kids like Big Time
love,
Rush? I love
Big
that.
Time Rush,
Okay,
even
good.
more than Spy Kids. So
Oh,
Wow.
Eat that,
don't tell
Alexa.
Alexa
Sick burn.
that.
eat that. Although they like Shark Boy and Lava Girl more than any of the 3. So
Meanwhile, I was like,
It's
I
fine.
totally wanted to be your wife when I was younger.
oh, get out of here.
I did. I was like, how can I be a Spy Kid? That's hysterical. I was going to ask you if your kids really like Big
Oh,
Time
yeah.
Rush because I know I hear some, like, who? Blake Lively's kids. Like, they like, oh, like, mom and dad who? Let's talk about Taylor Swift. Like, they don't see their parents as the stars.
My kids don't listen to Taylor Swift. They love Big Time Rush.
Do they understand the magnitude of Big Time Rush, though?
After this summer, they did.
They did, yeah.
They were on tour the entire summer with us. We had our family bus. It was pretty wild and crazy.
That's fun.
My
like a big
kids-
sleepover.
Oh, it was crazy. They would come out on stage, and I think the first couple times of them like being side stage and watching, and I like brought them out a couple times. It was kind of like, oh, like my dad is cool, and there's a video.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah, right. There's a video that Alexa posted, and Ocean is in the audience, and we're in the audience singing "Paralyzed," and I see Ocean, so I go and just grab him and put him on my shoulders, and we have a fun time. We're singing, and then I go and put him back, and in the video you see him go to people and like, "That's my dad. That's my dad." And I watched that, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love him so much."
Because there's such a stigma, even in radio, too. Like, if I were to get pregnant and have a kid, like, I'm old now, and I'm 27. Like, I don't have a kid yet, but...
You're not old.
Yeah,
You're
but,
not
like,
old.
if
Get outta
I were
here.
to be a mom, I'm considered old. And it's
What
like,
do you
you guys
mean?
are in your
To who?
in your, early 30s?
Listen,
so, like,
we-
you're not old, you're not a dad, you're not looked down upon for that.
We decided, me and Lex, we just chose to start early because that's, BTR was on a big hiatus, and we
Yeah.
just, that was our choice. You're not old.
But no, this is not
27
therapy for
is
me.
not old. No, this is therapy for you, and we're
Also,
telling
I'm
you
over
right
here,
now.
I was just saying, I love
childless.
that.
What does
Big
that say
time
about me? Wow.
No,
James,
no.
little shade
You're
being thrown this
old.
way.
I just love that your kids are, big fans and they're proud of their dad. Because
For
a
now.
celebrity kids
For now,
throw
right?
a lot of shade.
Yeah, right.
It's so funny though. So we'll talk about Paralyzed too, because it took a minute for this song to come out. So how does it feel that it's finally out?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, we threw it into the set for this past tour. We'd never played it before.
And fans were singing the words.
Well, fans had asked for it. It was kind of one of those random things we kept popping up before we had put together the summer tour set list. So we were like, all right, let's see how this resonates. And it was hands down the most sung, most engaged song, I think, of the entire summer.
Yeah.
Because
And
they were
so
waiting.
They were waiting
I
so long.
believe
But then,
it,
of course,
yeah.
it was like, when are you going to put it out? And we, felt like, hey, our fans have been asking for this for a long time. We need to deliver. And they've reciprocated because they've been streaming it more than, any other song, and they've been really loving it.
Here's how
Yeah.
much not that we had forgotten about the song, but how it was, like how much it was in our past. During rehearsals, nobody could find our recorded version of it.
Oh,
So
yikes.
nobody even had like any MP3, nothing.
Oh, no.
And the only version that we found was the original demo, which was by Simple Plan.
Stop.
So
Yeah.
for those of you people who are a little older, Simple Plan wrote
They wrote Paralyzed.
Paralyzed,
Yeah.
And we
Got
happened
my
to
inner punk rock
but-
kid coming out.
but get this, we happened to be rehearsing at this big space, and right next door, Simple Plan happened to be rehearsing there that day. So we got to say hi. What's his name? Is it Pierre?
Yeah.
Pierre, and man, he was so nice, and he remembered writing Paralyzed. And we're like, are you kidding me right now?
The stars aligned on this day.
So yeah, it was just a.
Didn't he send us the demo? That's how we got it, right?
Oh,
we
maybe
couldn't find it, and
maybe
then
it
Pierre
was-
was right there that day. I mean, the stars really did align.
Yeah, so
That's
Paralyzed
He's like, I
is-
still
is-
So
have
we
it.
have
Let me go
Pierre to
find it.
thank. Thank you, Pierre.
Yeah, thank you, Pierre.
So we did the tour over the summer. Now we're gearing up for Y100 Jingle Ball presented by Capital One.
Let's
go.
You're doing all the Jingle Balls now.
No, two of them.
Two of them. Okay.
Tampa and Miami.
Tampa. Oh, so only Florida.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Miami
Appreciate
is
it.
Really
It's in
like
Sunrise.
Yeah.
Right. I know. I go
like
through the
Miami
same
adjacent.
meltdown every day.
That was my
I'm
first
like,
concert, by the
this
way,
is-
at that arena.
Was Jingle Ball?
No.
Oh, it was at that arena.
yeah.
So what was your first concert?
Well, It's a toss-up. I can't remember which one came first, but it was either Jonas Brothers or Ashley Simpson.
Either
I think
one,
I'm gonna
not
go with
bad.
Jonas Brothers, but it was one of them.
Either way, not bad.
Yeah.
Jonas Brothers would be iconic. What was your first concert?
It was Depeche Mode.
Depeche Mode.
My dad took my brother and I.
I love
That's
the
pretty
range.
cool.
I too like Depeche Mode and Jonas Brothers. So
It was the tour that they had the big arm that came out from the stage.
Oh, and then they floated
and
around.
they floated around and they squirted everybody with foam.
that's exciting.
And me as like a 16-year-old, I was like, this is the cool. I want to be a boy band member. This is awesome.
Also manifested that. So
Yeah, there we go. we haven't done the foam yet.
Put it
No
out there
foam.
and it shall happen.
no fun but backflips. So
That's these guys.
yeah. How's that going? You still got that in you for Jingle
landed
Ball?
them all. Yeah.
Good.
It's just
No
one of those. It's like a
mistakes.
double-edged sword. It's like cool to do it, but since everybody knows I can do it, I'm stuck doing it.
Do you
at
feel the
every
pressure
show.
to do it?
You know, in my lower back and knees, a little
They're
more,
feeling the
a little
pressure?
more than I used to. I gotta say, I still feel pretty darn confident doing them. And,
Yeah.
You know, Carlos and I, we train every single day.
We were
and
talking
so,
about that before.
Yeah,
you
we
guys
were.
are in great shape. You're still young. Like, of course you can do all this
well,
stuff.
I mean, the truth is, like, we're getting in even better shape and stronger. I think the more educated we become, the more
Yeah.
consistently we train and eat well. I mean, it really is like there's no reason why you can't get stronger into your 30s and
Yeah.
God willing 40s and 50s. I mean, I see some of my friends, you know, one of my big brothers is Mike O'Hearn, and the guy's, you know, 53 or 4 now and in better shape than either one of us. So
yeah.
there's no reason that we can't continue to do that. And this is why I'll
Absolutely.
continue
Yeah.
to pull backflips to
Well,
prove
no,
that
Yeah.
I've got it.
I'm
It keeps you
definitely-
young to keep doing it.
I'm
too.
definitely in the best shape of my life
Yeah.
now. Like even back then, even though I was younger, I was eating crap.
For
and,
sure.
I mean, I used to do a show and just pound a tub of ice cream afterwards. I'd sit on the bus and we'd watch like Game of Thrones or something, and I'd just be like,
I mean, if there's a time to do it, I guess
Right,
it is
right.
post-show.
Right.
That would be then. So what can we expect for the shows now for Y100 Jingle Ball? And what's the set list looking like?
well, we won't have foam. I'm just kidding.
No foam.
No
Okay.
foam. Well, we're definitely gonna do Paralyzed. I know
Okay.
for sure.
Got to throw that in. Obviously, got to play Dale Pa' Ya.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're gonna have some special guests.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We don't have to give too much, but like just a little
Well,
tease.
fine.
So I love this. Some guests.
Dale Pa' Ya, we recently released a remix with Gente de Zona and Mafia, and they may or may not be at the
May or
Miami
may
Jingle
not.
Ball. That's all I'm gonna
We can
say.
or cannot
I
confirm.
mean, if they're here and they're free, why not?
right, putting it out again into the
And
universe.
Gente de Zona is like
Mafia.
they are like you know.
That's awesome. Well, we're so excited to have you guys, and this has been awesome.